How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with a little bit of Treehouse up in this piece in the form of their fall classic. This is an American IPA coming at 6.9% alcohol by volume. More importantly, comes courtesy of my boy Steven. I said this in the unboxing. Treehouse's labels as of late have been getting very, very fun. Very Norman Rockwellian and a kind of new generation of that. Typically their cans were pretty much a Treehouse logo on it, a little bit of color variation. Obviously, the words were different. And then they started to mess with things in that Curiosity series, more specifically. But now they're starting to produce labels kind of like this. And for a unabashed lover of baseball, I love this. One of my favorite cans they've ever done. Just something about it just is beautiful, As far as this beer goes, it says classic was constructed as an ideal beverage to enjoy while watching a Major League Baseball during the autumn season. It is simply an homage to an incredible game. Nothing else elicits such strongly nostalgic, all-American response, quite like the crack of a bat on a cool autumn day, or experiencing the sights and sounds of a ball game in the flesh. Brewed with clean American ale yeast and hopped with Strata, Eldorado, and Citra, Fall Classic pours a lovely orange color in the glass and puts forward the potent flavors and aromatics of tropical fruit, citrus, and earthy pine. If it's dry, thirst-quenching, and incredibly easy to drink, it is. Yeah. So we got a little bit of old school, a decent amount of middle school, and a bunch of new school in this sucker. By middle school, I mean, Citra. Strata's definitely new. Look at that sucker. Yeah. Eldorado with the old school. And this is such a great label, man. Look at that. Kudos. They probably have an artist listed on here. Should probably call them out on it. Maybe they don't. Yeah. Anyway, fantastic. It looks like an old school, yet hazy New England style IPA. It's got a rich orange core in it. And I'm drinking this out of a Willie Beecher, which means you probably get a little bit more light through it. So in a big, fatter glass, it would be a bit darker. Pinky finger of nice and slightly neurotic kind of creamy kind of head to it. A little bit of kind of lacing on the edges already. And just got this soft haze to it. Like almost it is that old school kind of beer. I know this is not scientific, but almost all Eldorado hop beers come off darker to me. I don't know why that is. Somebody out there who brews beer makes sense that. Probably isn't. Probably is this correlation and causation kind of thing going on. But yeah. It looks like an Eldorado hop beer. Let's get a nose. It really is this nice kind of slight tropical fruit mixed with grapefruit spiciness. I'm not getting a huge, coconutty strata thing off of it. Oh, man. It smells so good. It smells like just a piney, danky East Coast hazy, Oh, man, that smells so good. It's got a nice sweetness to it. You're definitely getting that bittering component. The way those fruits from those hops kind of jump out at you. It's very, very vibrant. I like this beer already. Can't wait to dive in. Cheers. That's Danger Juice. Man. This is a really, 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 really good beer. That's a really good beer. It is everything that I loved about old school. When I say old school IPA, I mean old school East Coast IPA. With all the fun twists and turns of new school hazy. With a soft, I shouldn't say soft because it's rather sharp. A purposeful, there's a good word, dollop of West Coast in it. Because you get this nice piney dankiness on it. You definitely do get that. But the beer through and through is nice, ripe grapefruit, ripe orange, that little bit of tropical fruit, a little bit of even like kiwi, something like that going on with it. But then you get that subtle spiciness, a little bit of herbaliness from those hops too, that just isn't strictly dankiness. And a beer that, for all intents and purposes, I should say drinks thin, but it doesn't. It has this sultry creaminess to it. But the second it goes down the gullet, finishes quick, you have that residual bitterness, you have a residual sweetness there, but it goes down so easy and so quick. It's kind of one of those weird kind of oxymoron-y beers that is both beautiful mouthfeel, yet thin at the same time at the back end. That makes it just so drinkable. Yeah, man, this is just really good beer. This is one of my favorite beers that I've had from Treehouse in quite some time. Man. Something about this is just doing it to me. Maybe it's the nostalgia for baseball. I'm an old school baseball head. I didn't play baseball growing up. I played football, track and field, a little bit of basketball. Wasn't a baseball guy. But I've always enjoyed baseball. I've enjoyed watching baseball. And more importantly, I've enjoyed listening to baseball. Pretty much, during baseball season, COVID removed, even though I did some of that this year, a bulk of my afternoons, especially on the weekends when I'm working around the house, working around the farm, doing things, there's the baseball games on in the background. I'm a Yankee fan, so it's predominantly just Yankees all the time. But that's kind of my background noise of summer and fall. And it was much the same this year, albeit a little bit more sporadic because of COVID. But it just something about baseball. Sitting outside, sitting on a porch, wasting a night, wasting an afternoon listening to baseball is one of my favorite things to do. So there's a big, huge soft spot for just this beer as a setup, teed up, if you will, that's going to make me love this beer. But I don't think that nostalgia can translate into something this tasty. It has to be a good beer. And honestly, this tastes like a beer Treehouse wouldn't make. If that makes any sense? Not that they wouldn't make anything. They'll do whatever the hell they want to do. But the way that bitterness comes off, it's not that green weediness. It's a lot more dankiness, a lot more spiciness, a lot more herbalness in there, along with that nice grapefruit, citrus, tropical fruit, star fruit thing kind of going on there. And the mouthfeel going from that soft sultriness immediately following with that kind of quicker, faster finish. It's a lot of cool little twists and turns that I haven't really seen in combination with a lot of what Treehouse does. They do a lot of, and this isn't a knock, because what they do is they do really, really well. But what they do is a lot of the same thing with different shine on it. It's a car with a sunroof as opposed to a car with a spoiler, as opposed to a car with like high-end brakes. It's still the car, but there's tweaks to it. Little move here, a little shake there, a little twist there, and you have a different beer on the same frame. This tastes like something completely outside of what I typically get from them. I'm admittedly not the biggest Treehouse consumer. 99.9% of the Treehouse I get are from people like Max, from Steven, from all the people that send me beer mails. So I don't drink a ton of their beers, but this is probably one of the more funner ones. One of the ones that really shows me something more outside of the classic hazy that they're known for in a very, very, very pretty way. I like it. I don't know if you guys noticed that one. I love this beer. Let's talk about it. Is this one of the better IPAs? Because it's 6 and change. That means it's an actual IPA. It's one of the better IPAs I've had as of late. Yes. Yes. This is Mount Rushmore status for me. I love this beer. I want this beer. I want it all the time. I think it's fantastic. Bag availability, no idea. Those in the Treehouse universe, please let me know how much this cost and its availability. Is it going to come back? Has it been out before? I do not know. And leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like beer, man, this is one of those beers. I've talked about this in the past with some of the kind of Fox Farm beers and other hazies in the past. There's a lot of old curmudgeon-y people, myself included, that'll kind of be like, yeah, hazies are fun. Hazies are fun. Hazies are fun. Whatever. It's cool. Whatever. Whatever. Hazies are whatever. But then you have one like this that I think just kind of breaks barriers. And you could give this to somebody even more curmudgeon-y than me that goes, hazy IPA is the dumbest thing ever. You give them that and they go, well, it's kind of dumb, but not this dumb. Because this is not dumb. This is delicious. So it's kind of one of those beers that I think would be universally enjoyed if you're into craft beer. What more do you want than that? So there you go. Another review in the books. Thank you very much, Steven, for sending this off. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive. Want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of a fall classic right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.